المصير واحد، ما في مصير لأمارة ومصير لأمارة أخرى، أو مصير لفرد وأفراد والآخرين لهم مصير آخر، أبدا، المصير واحد.
My name is Deirdre Hagerty. I came to Abu Dhabi in 2012. I was actually recruited, I'm a nurse by background, and I was actually recruited to come here to be a Vice President of Nursing Patient Care in a large government hospital in Abu Dhabi. So I came here, I didn't know much about Dubai and Abu Dhabi when I was first approached by a headhunter. So I did some research and saw how beautiful it was. So I came for interview, fell in love with the UAE and moved here for that job. So I've been here for over 10 years now, which is amazing. Well, like I said, I'm a nurse by background. I have been in a number of nursing leadership positions. During my career, I incorporated building, opening and commissioning of hospitals and healthcare centers and clinics. So I've done a number of them both internationally, actually, in California and here in the UAE. So when it came to my last clinic, I decided that I would do one for myself. I've opened more than 14 different projects, and so I met with another self-professional who was a neuropsychologist. We discussed the possibility about opening a center here, and I decided it was time for me to do one for myself because I've had the experience all of these years. The vision here was in addition to having my own business and not doing it for somebody else, the bigger vision was filling a gap in the market with regards to neuropsychology and psychology services. There are a lot of psychology services here in the UAE, but there's a significant gap in neuropsychology services and doing neuropsychological assessments. So our goal was to fill that gap and to increase awareness around mental health issues, not just as they're related to depression and anxiety, for example, but we have traumatic brain injury, we have ADHD, we have dementia. There are a whole number of brain-related issues that are considered mental health in ways, but the people in the public are not as aware of them as they could be. So our biggest vision is to increase that awareness, make mental health something we can all talk about without feeling that it's a negative thing, and actually put together some assessments and some treatment plans that will truly help our public. Right now I have 2 neuropsychologists. There are only 4 now actually, neuropsychologists in the UAE itself. And 2 of them are here with me, which makes this a very special clinic. In addition to that, we added a family medicine consultant because he will see patients from all age groups, and he helps to see them if they have a medical issue, if they need referrals to the neuropsychologist. but our primary focus is on neuropsychology and psychology services. Yeah, so neuropsychology, basically, when you think about neuropsychology, everybody knows what an MRI is, for example. If you do an MRI of the brain, it will show you pictures of areas of the brain that there may be an issue with. Neuropsychology is similar to that in that we perform assessments that outline the issues with the functioning areas of the brain. So while an MRI can show you the picture of it, the assessments that we do actually show the actual functioning issues and where there's an issue with that. And then we put together a treatment plan for how that can be taken care of. Basically word of mouth. I heard about Dr. Claris, for example, and hopefully you'll meet her in a minute. But Dr. Claris is our first doctor. She is a US trained neuropsychologist who has wonderful experience, and she shares our vision about how we're going to deliver care to these kind of patients. And then Carla is the other neuropsychologist who has just joined us recently, actually moved from abroad. So we found out about her through connections in the Neuropsychology Society. Actually, 3 out of 4, we have 5. There are 5 of us here altogether. 6 if you consider Dr. Whale, but he comes and goes. So there are 5 out of all the 5. 4 were here in the UAE, and then 1 from abroad. The Carla I just talked about, she's the one who just came from France just 2 months ago because of her specialty, because we don't have the specialty here in the UAE. We have both of our neuropsychologists actually take care of all age groups. So we start with children all the way up through adolescents, adults, and up to geriatrics. What parents may find is that they have some difficulty with attention. Their kids might have difficulty with attention. They might have difficulty focusing on something. They might have difficulty following directions. They might have some challenges in school where they're struggling to finish their homework. They're struggling in classes and they're not sure why. Maybe they know that they're smart enough to do something, but for a whole variety of reasons, they're still struggling. If they see that, this is what we're here to help with. Both of our neuropsychologists do assessments. That's what I was talking about earlier. They'll do certain paper and computerized assessments that will show exactly where the areas are that they need to focus on. So if there's an attention issue, we'll know exactly what that is and what we need to do in the treatment plan to help parents and the schools to have the child be successful.
Sure. So my name is Dr. Claris Mendanza King. I'm an Indian citizen, was born and raised in Dubai. I moved to the US in 2014 to complete my doctorate, and then I returned back to work here in the country. So at the Brain Matter Center, I work as a clinical neuropsychologist. I provide assessment and therapy services for patients across the age range, so as little as 2 years up until the 90s. The services that we provide are to help patients with mental health issues, also those who are going through cognitive difficulties, so memory problems with attention, language, what we call executive functioning. So a whole range of skill sets as well as mental health issues. So most of my caseload currently is with adolescents and children, but we really see people across the lifespan. So young children, parents, adults, the geriatric population, just anyone who requires support and needs some guidance when it comes to their mental health and functioning. I think the difficulties that most children face over here are adjusting to the demands of being a child at their age. I think this is especially true since the pandemic, trying to focus on education, making friends with social media. I think being able to interact effectively, maintain friends, know who is a good influence, who is a bad influence, how to deal with bullying. Those are some of the issues that I see quite frequently among children in this country.
يسمو إلى الأمجاد شامخا فوق الهامات. نحن بلد وحده الأجداد تحت راية دولة الإمارات. نحن وطن يسمو إلى الأمجاد شامخا فوق الهامات. نحن بلد